Best marketing strategies in 2022. Apart from crypto, discussing and reviewing different kinds of marketing tactics and strategies is perhaps the internet's hottest topic to talk about right now. And the underlying reason for this is definitely the recent rise in new businesses and startups, which is taking the marketing industry by storm. So, we decided to take a jump in as well and discussed the best marketing strategies for 2022, as we want your businesses to do the best and coming to the forefront. We'll be breaking down each marketing strategy by first discussing what it is, how it works, talking about some examples, and then discussing its ups and downs. So, let's get right into it. Number 10, major publication. Major publications can hold immense importance in your business growth and reaching the audience it needs, whether it's getting featured in a popular newsletter, blog page, or working with a huge social media personality. Even though the spikes may be short, the storm of traffic you can get this way in little to no time can be really valuable if you have your retention strategies done right, which we'll get onto in a while. But try not to be overly promotional when using this technique, as this will not only drive audience away from your side, but damage the reputation of the publication channel you're getting help from for being a sellout. So, better start getting into good terms with good publication channels, and the better the relationship develops, the better and more efficient you can be in getting to reach your audience. The downside with this technique is that if you don't have your audience retention plan ready for how you're going to keep the traffic you're getting engaged, then the boost you're going to get will be short-term and unsustainable. Number 9. Snatch users from your competitors. A sneaky but efficient strategy, also once used by Airbnb when it was first launched, was that instead of letting their new concept already in a competitive area grow a slow and steady customer base, it brought in the competitors' users to their own platform. And how did they do that? Well, they simply reached out to the people who had posted their rental property ads on similar platforms and let them know about their own. This brought in more and more people towards Airbnb because, if you don't already know, Airbnb was the first platform that allowed for the extra edge of posting shared spaces, such as single bedrooms, versus their competitors, which only allowed for the posting of an entire property. But even though everything sounds so compelling for using this marketing strategy, the downside with this is that it calls for having a really unique advantage over your competitors, as well as constant development and improvement, because your competitors will definitely be worried about their businesses going obsolete, so they'll choose the path of unhealthy competition if you aren't up with the times. Number 8, give incentives. It is proven that businesses that offer their customers some sort of incentives, be it cash, referral codes, coupons, and gift cards, perform much better and have a solid customer loyalty. Many businesses use the incentive marketing technique today, and was also used by PayPal when starting out. It paid $10 to every one of its users that signed up to the platform, and an extra $10 when the user refers the app to someone else. Although a $20 bill for acquiring a single customer seems like a huge price to pay, but using this strategy is what allowed PayPal to go from just a startup to a multinational finance technology company with a whopping $286 million users today. So, if you are looking to boost traffic, spending your marketing budget directly on acquiring new customers through incentives can be a highly effective way of doing so. But the downside is that it's quite a money-intensive process and will definitely require you to step up your marketing budget. So, if you're just in the initial startup phase or low on capital, this technique surely isn't the one for you. Number 7, try a viral marketing campaign. A viral marketing campaign isn't really supposed to be pushing your product down the public's throat, but it should create awareness, which indirectly links to your brand. It can be a hilarious publicity stunt or a challenge, and the perfect example here will be Apple's shot on iPhone memes. With the launch of Apple's latest iPhone X in 2017, it launched the Shot on iPhone meme, which quickly spread because of the company having such a huge customer base. And the campaign was essentially targeted towards promoting Apple's latest and greatest camera system. This basically meant free marketing for Apple because people from all over the world shared and made their own version of the meme with millions and millions of views, tweets, and shares, shooting sales through the roof with an estimated 2 billion iPhone X units sold worldwide. The best part about this strategy is that it isn't highly dependent on the budget, but rather the creativity and thought you put behind it, and that every startup, business, company, or firm can boost traffic using this technique no matter how big or small it is. Number 6, interact with users. One of the most efficient marketing strategies, which requires minimal marketing budget and effort, is user interaction. One of the best examples here would be GoPro, the famous action camera manufacturing company, which uses this technique to its finest by creating a regular highlight or edit of their favorite videos made using the GoPro by their customers. This encourages people to make more and more content with the action camera to get a chance to be featured on the brand's social media, which in turn plays in favor of GoPro as they get to showcase the features of their new and improving camera designs, quality, and performance using no other than their own user-generated content. This tie between the company and its customers is one of the things that allows GoPro to remain the market leader in the action camera space. Number 5, laser focus on your niche. One of the most common problems with today's new businesses and startups is that they simply try to market everyone. And at first, it may sound like a good thing, like who wouldn't want the most people to choose your product? But the problem with this is that you simply cannot sell to anyone and everyone. Every product has its target audience or specific demographic, just like your grandparents wouldn't want to buy the latest and greatest iPhone, or children wouldn't be interested in buying dentures. Not every product can be sold or marketed towards everyone. Let's take Twitch here as an example. Perhaps the biggest live streaming platform for video games, but their biggest edge is simply that they don't target everyone towards their platform, which is why Twitch isn't that popular as well and is solely for the gaming enthusiast community. It's the perfect example for really narrow niche marketing, which in turn allows them to know and understand their users much better. But the only problem with this idea is that the market will simply be too small and your growth potential will be pretty limited if you're entering or targeting a really specific niche. But it's the most efficient way of building a tighter and a more loyal bond with your users. Number 4, work on staying in the forefront. When you search something on Google and the search results pop up, what's the first link you click? For most people, it's the first one. So, if you aren't there, then someone else will be there. Probably your competitor, which means they're winning all the traffic and eventually sales. This is exactly the reason why you need to focus on digital marketing, so that you're always on the forefront, which is why focusing on things like SEO, performance tracking, and lead generation is really important. As more and more businesses go online, you'll need to constantly work on and improve your digital visibility. And even though this method is quite on the expensive side and will require you to set aside a large sum of your budget for hiring and working with digital marketing specialists, it's worth every single penny because of the massive potential for growth and improving reach this technique has. Number 3, sell a story. Often overlooked, but selling a story more than a simple vague product is undoubtedly one of the most powerful ways of marketing. IBM, which is perhaps one of the most famous tech companies, is the best example of storytelling marketing. Melanoma, the most dangerous type of cancer, kills a person every 6 hours in Australia. And to combat this, IBM developed Watson, an artificial intelligence system that detects melanoma with more than 35% accuracy compared to the human eye. This grieving story in itself is more than what is needed to convince and bring in tons of traffic towards them. And it's for a fact that customers like to engage with humanitarian or more human-run brand rather than a faceless money and profit-focused entity. So, work on selling an engaging, convincing, and sympathetic story rather than the product and the product itself. Number 2, email marketing. If you're familiar with the marketing space at all, you may have heard about how the average ROI for email marketing is close to $42 for every $1 spent, which is kind of insane and true in some cases. But email marketing definitely isn't everyone's game. Nowadays, where the same strategies are overused by new businesses and hope to bring in traffic, email marketing is the most abused. This is because it's an automated system, and it annoys the heck out of people by sending in the same boring and irrelevant ads again and again to their inboxes. But in essence, email marketing is easily the most efficient and productive method for bringing in quality traffic and reaching them out directly, which means the target audience can be met effectively. Another great advantage of email marketing is the ability to easily record and measure performance, and this is usually done by looking at metrics like the click-through rates, bounce rates, campaign ROI, and tons of others. For the downsides, rough use of email marketing can be annoying at times and can even pull users away from you if they unsubscribe. And secondly, poorly designed emails can be left undelivered because they contain certain keywords or topics that may simply be filtered out by the email service platform. So, better be on the lookout for that. Number 1, practice selling a lifestyle. Now, selling a lifestyle doesn't literally mean that you have to sell a lifestyle, but it rather means having a strong narrative or message that pleases people to choose you over anyone else. The idea of having emotions or experiences attached to your brand that just latch on to people's memory is so powerful, but is often underestimated. Let's take Marlboro as an example, which in 1950 accounted for only 1% of the cigarette market share, but soon went on to become one of the biggest tobacco companies 4 years later. How did they do that? Well, they simply used the famous Marlboro Man and his story of being this masculine and hard-working cowboy who smoked Marlboro cigarettes. It focused more on selling a story or a lifestyle rather than just pushing the product down the public's throat. And because people felt an emotional attachment with the Marlboro Man, they saw regularly on TV and commercial breaks. What happened was that the regular smokers switched to Marlboro cigarettes, and the non-smokers began smoking it as well because they felt more manly when they did it. Talking about downsides, the biggest one with this would be that it requires loads of time, effort, and a really creative brain to get to a point where your business starts selling a lifestyle instead of just ordinary products, but it's definitely worth everything you put into for sure. Now on to you guys. This is all we have for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more informational videos just like this one. Let us know in the comments below which marketing strategy is your favorite and which one you'll be using for your marketing campaigns. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!